Hello everyone, welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern fan channel. As we near the restart of the Bundesliga, which in approximately 3 days, around actually a few hours before this time, we should be playing Union Berlin. I can't wait for it, man. I'm genuinely tired of waiting. I'm so tired of waiting for this. I just want the league to return now, today. But we're talking about a player that I haven't talked about on the channel, Lucas Hernandez. And this is a new thing I'll be doing. Every Bayern transfer will be given approximately a year or a few months, and then we'll rate them as signings. Have they failed or not? And has Lucas Hernandez failed? And I think in retrospect, a lot of people will say yes, and some will say no. And I am I'm in a situation where I'm confused. First of all, Lucas Hernandez was a player that I didn't see us signing. We signed him last summer, and I didn't, or before, even it was like a few months. We activated his release clause, 70 million. Not much about him because he joined Atletico in like 2018, and a year later we activate his release clause. So either we just saw something extraordinarily great in him and decided to buy him, or we just did it out of panic. I don't know. Because Hummels, actually, to be honest, Hummels wasn't gonna leave, was he? No, he wasn't. Matt Hummels wasn't going to leave, but I think with the addition of Lucas Hernandez, Hummels felt like his place in the squad would be threatened, so he found the club that would play him regardless of his age, and Borussia Dortmund are a step below while also giving him a lot of European football at that high level, while also being able to compete in the Bundesliga and in the DFB Cup. So Hummels moving, and also the Super Cup, I forgot about that. So Hummels really moving back to Dortmund was good for him because he was reaching the latter age of his career. So blah blah blah. Okay, let's talk about Lucas now. Lucas, we bought him injured, which I don't know why. I don't know who in the Bayern board said, "Oh my God, let's buy a player who has an ACL injury." I think he did have an ACL, or he had a knee injury actually, which he got a knee operation. I think that's what happened. And I don't know who said in the Bayern board, let's get this player that's probably going to pick up a lot of injuries. And even before he picked up the big injury, he'd been picking up injuries. But at the World Cup, he impressed, so I'm guessing that's where the club got it from. But we signed Lucas Hernandez, and I was like, okay, cool. I didn't really make many videos about it because he was just until the summer. He wasn't really a Bayern player yet. He was still injured, so there's really no hype around him. No one was really talking about Lucas Hernandez to Bayern as much as they would talk about Harry Maguire to Manchester United. They weren't talking about it, even though they cost around that same price. But Lucas came in, and yeah, he recovered. I think he did feature in a few games beginning of the season and got an injury 2 months out, or a month or so out. I think he got an ankle injury that time. And I was like, man, this guy sucks for you. It's really, really bad for a player that's just new to get injured at his new club after just coming back from a big injury. And I was like, you know what? Let's wait for him to recover, and we'll see what he's about. We'll see what he's about. And I think it was around that time where, okay, the French national team, there was an international break in between the mix. Lucas was almost fully recovered by that time. And Bayern's board publicly came out, Unai Hoeneß, so did Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. They were saying that France should not call up Lucas Hernandez because he's not fully recovered and he has not followed his recovery process 1 billion%. So France should not have called him. And I was like, wait, okay, so Lucas isn't really back. But then Lucas Hernandez went to the French national team anyways. He didn't stop and say, I'm not fully fit, Deschamps. Didier Deschamps, I am not fully fit, huh? I don't even know what accent that is. But he didn't do that. He went to the French national team camp, and this is where I was like, bro, you're not fully recovered from injury. You're susceptible to a lot of injuries. Why are you going to a national team camp to go train or even get checked up by your national team? Now, I think he went to the national team and they did clear him. They did. Because I'm sure he played like behind the doors. He played maybe a practice match with the French national team. And that probably could have been the reason why a few weeks later, after coming back from the French national team, right? And then he came and we had the game against Olympiacos in the Champions League where he started. That's the game he got injured in. And it's so ironic that I think it's his fault that he got another injury. Because he could have never went to the French national team, followed the recovery process, and maybe he'd been fit. But then again, we wouldn't have gotten Davies. But I don't know, man. Players have these injuries and it's okay. I'm not saying that having an injury is bad, but I think I just lost a little bit of respect for a player. That he chose his national team over his club, which, okay, I mean, it's your country, it's pride. But then you did it at your own expense because he picked up an injury. And that's something that he can't control now. And we can regret it, but we can't control it now. But you know what I mean? This is what I mean with when I talk about Lucas Hernandez. So for me, right, has he been a failed transfer? In a way, yes. Let's be honest. When you buy a player to be transferred to your club, his job for 70 million at the damn least price, 70 million. When you buy that player, you expect them to be playing. You expect them to stay fit. You expect them to be fully dedicated to the cause. He wasn't dedicated to the cause. But is he in my book a failed transfer? No, but in general, he is, because you don't go to a club and not play more than 5 games. He's barely played for us, man. And this season was his season to shine. Now, I have a lot of belief in his quality. He's a very fast player in the recovery. He likes to bring the ball out of the back. Not a really long passer like Alaba is, for example, but he does bring the ball out of the back quite comfortably because he's also played as a fullback and he can bring the ball out of the back. Him and Pavard played very well at the World Cup. I'm pretty sure that's why we got him, because we wouldn't have gotten both of them if they hadn't done what they did at the World Cup, especially in that final versus Croatia. That actually the semifinals versus Argentina, I think it was the semifinals. No, quarterfinals. That goal that Pavard scored, Lucas Hernandez put in the cross. It was very, very nice, the work, the partnership. So, I don't know, man. Maybe we got him because we thought, oh my God, this is a French World Cup winner. We need him. And we didn't really consider the fact that he was injured and was susceptible to injuries before the World Cup. And we do have a history of doing. Even, you know what, actually, that was cap. We don't have a history of buying a lot of injury players. They just get injured a lot here. It's kind of weird. If you look at Coman, he didn't pick up a lot of injuries for Juventus or PSG. This is only at Bayern where he started to pick up a lot of injuries. Maybe it's the training methods we use, or the pitch is a bit different, and I don't know. Or the medical staff is a bit crap. I don't know, because a lot of teams don't pick up as many injuries as we do. But I can't blame Lucas for getting injured, but I can blame some of his decisions on him. If something happens to you, it's your fault, even if you have nothing to do with it. Somehow you were involved in what happened to you. Maybe, you know what, you get in an accident, but it's not your fault. Someone just ran into your car. But maybe you could have left your house earlier. Maybe you shouldn't have been speeding. Maybe you should have been driving. It's always your fault. And I'm not blaming, and I'm not saying Lucas Hernandez, he can't get injured and he has no time. The guy's still only 23. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is there is some part of his injury that is his fault. He chose to go to the national team camp. Probably did something. Just that mental aspect of it where you actually went to your national team camp despite the fact that you were susceptible to injuries. Him doing that could have been a huge reason. Lucas is a brilliant player. You and I have seen it. We've seen that. Okay, he's very, very no nonsense. Like, he gets in front of the defenders. He wants to tackle. He wants to do these little things. But you sometimes create your own luck. And on the pitch, he gets himself in very rash type of situations where, sometimes I'm just like, Lucas, don't go to ground. Don't just keep him just stay on your feet, and he'll just slide in for a slide tackle. And he's done that. He has done that. Let's be honest. You've seen it. I've seen it. We both watched the same games he's played in. He's done the same thing where he just ran at a player for a slide tackle. He's gotten a yellow card out of that. And then maybe it's a header, and he'll dive for the header instead of just standing still and just heading it. I don't know if I'm seeing what I've seen, but I've seen this. Maybe I don't know. But he has not been failed as in he can never fully redeem himself. But evidence shows me that he will keep picking up injuries. We can dream all we want about, we hope he returns and he's fully fit and 1,000,000% again. Oh my God, I really want him to be 1,000,000%. We can say all these things that we want. The matter of the fact is, he's a player that's gotten a lot of injuries. He'll continue to pick him up if there's nothing done about it. It's what it is. It is what it is. And he'll pick up those injuries. I don't know, man. Why we signed him is still beyond me. It's something that I'm trying to figure out just as much as you. It's something that I really want to know. but he hasn't been a failed transfer. He can still redeem himself. When we signed Lucas Hernandez, I looked at the clips and I was like, damn, this guy could be the next thing, right? Obviously, he was injured at the time, but I couldn't watch any Atletico games because I usually watch games of players we're linked to. I watched a lot of Sané. Actually, I was watching Man City, Premier League games, City versus Man United, the big games, before we even signed Sané. And I always said to myself, wow, this Sané guy is really a cold baller, man. He knows how to play. And I just said to my head, man, I wish we had that type of player at Bayern. Because at the time we had Robin and last season, Robin and Ribéry, who were very old. We all knew they were leaving at the end of the season. I was like, yo, I wish we had kind of that Sané type player who was just cold, ice cold in front of goal and, could create a chance for Lewandowski and could take chances. Coman at the time was always injured at last season. And, and then we linked to Sané and it was brilliant. And Lucas, I looked at him, the clips, and I was like, this guy could be that type of, just everything defender. He's good on the ball, excellent on it. He's good at actually defending, like 1v1s, things like that. And I just thought, you know what? If this guy gets the opportunity and he focuses on himself and he doesn't make any stupid decisions like, I don't know, health-wise, and get an injury, it would be fine. And he did make a decision. Oh man, I'm so annoyed. But what I hope for Lucas is he stays fit. That's it. It's not. I don't even think he's bad. He's not a bad player. He's a brilliant player actually. But I just hope he stays fit because if he plays more games, he gets better and more confidence. I think people forget what an injury can do to you. I got injured I'm not kidding. 4 days I was out. I thought I bust my ankle or something. It felt really annoying. It was in training. Me and a teammate, we collided and he nabbed my ankle, man. I dribbled past him, I think, and he just ran into me. And he ran into my head too, but it was mostly my ankle. Busted my ankle. I continued playing, but I knew something was off. I knew something was off. And I was like, damn, man, my ankle really hurts. That's my first ever feeling of I may be injured. I may have just picked up an injury, right? I went to the physio. I mean, it's a high school physio. They're not good. They're just people who have a job to tell you to put some ice on it. They don't actually do surgery, or do rehabilitation. They don't do that. They're not going to rehabilitate you into society, back to your full self. They're not doing that. This is a high school team. Shut up. Don't judge me. But I went to this guy and I was like, yo, my ankle, man. And you know what he told me? He told me, don't stand up for as long as you usually do. I had a dance on a Saturday. I did a school dance, right? I had gotten a suit for it, and man, I look sexy. I'd gotten a suit for it. It cost me $300. Everything about $400 actually, because the shoes were like $150. The suit was like $200. So almost $400 I spent on that dance. I wasn't gonna miss it. He was like, you know what? Go to the dance. Go dance, go get some women. And he told me that, and he said, just don't stress out your ankle. Just don't do that. Just relax it. Make sure you're not doing too much with it. And I did listen, and man, it was hard because I was like, man, I don't want to get injured. I had a game on Tuesday. So it was Thursday when I got injured. I saw the physio on the day after, so Friday. And then Saturday I had the dance. And then Sunday and then Monday, those are my recovery. I had to recover. So I was like, damn, man, I got this game on Tuesday. And then after that, I had a game on Thursday because it's high school. So the season is usually 2 months because here in the US, the weather changes like crazy. And there's different sports in different seasons because you can't just have 550 billion sports, because people will not go watch this sport. There's football and then there's this sport, our football, and then there's maybe girls basketball going on at the same. Oh no, there isn't. There's hockey, which is stupid. But then he was like, yeah, okay. I went to the dance, everything, and then I came back. In my head, I was like, damn, I can't believe I'm injured, and I just stayed. I did what he did, what he told me. And on Tuesday, I felt really good. On Tuesday, my leg felt like it had recovered. I felt so nice, and I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go play. Tuesday we have a game. It was a home game in our 500 capacity stadium. It was fine, right? High school type thing. Not that many people would show up for high school sports, but people do show up. A few people, maybe 50, or depending on what type of game it is. If it's a popular game, I was ready, and I went to the game, and the coach, I was on the bench, put on the bench, because when you're injured, you don't get to start, and you're not fully fit. And around the 30th, because of high school, it's different here. You get unlimited substitution, so you can go back. It's just to keep, because we're not professional. We're not going to stay fit for the entire season, right? But I'm fit throughout the entire game. I have a lot of energy. He puts me in. He's like, go do your thing. And I'm midfielder, so obviously off the bat, there's already something I got to do. There's already someone I got to mark. There's already an interception that I should have made and maybe didn't. 30 seconds in, I think I touched the ball once, I think. And then I ran forward. No. I was in the game for 30 seconds. I didn't touch the ball. But we were starting to defend. I'm a CDM, so my job is to literally make sure no one gets past our midfield. And I was tracking a runner, and he was getting the ball, and I just felt it. I was like, oh hell no, I'm not doing this, because like when you're out, I wasn't running. I'd ran before the game. I didn't really feel it, but I was like, I started running. I was like, nah, this ain't it. This is not what I thought I was fully recovered, but this is not it, man. And I put my hand up. I was like this. No, I'm not. I came out 30 seconds. I stayed on the bench, supported the team. I took my shoes off, and I was like, nah, this ain't it. I'm not playing. And everyone was like, George, what happened? I thought you were fully good. And I was like, no, I'm not. I was being honest. I was not good, right? Wearing the number 6 shirt, I was not good. Yeah, I couldn't play. And I went on the bench, sat, and I just played. I just watched the game for the rest of it. I cheered the team on, obviously, because I'm a great team player. I cheered my team on. I literally turned into a coach. I will be a coach in the future at some point. Maybe coach some like 12-year-old kids or something somewhere for Real Madrid and be their best manager ever. I don't know. My dreams and my desires. But yeah, that's it. Thursday, 2 days later, I did play for the whole game. Literally, I was fine. It's crazy because I was in my head. I was constantly like, dude, you just almost just, man. I thought I lost my ability for 4 days that I was injured. 4 days, 4 days I thought I lost my ability, and then I was recovered. I was fully fine. My ankle was good. I have a really weirdly tough body. Like, I'm not incredibly strong, but I don't think no one bigger than me could beat me up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just have some level of toughness. Like, legit, my sister will punch me as a joke, and she's like, that hurt, because like, my body just not naturally strong. Like, so I don't really get injuries. I get in a lot of freaking battles on the pitch, but I never really get an injury. I've injured people before. Well, I haven't. They've just fallen awkwardly to my tackle or something. I've injured a teammate. Actually, it was in the same week. A few days before, I injured him. And then someone injured me a few days after. It wasn't by my. I went in for it. Here's what happened, right? So you know how I'm a CDM, right? But I was playing center back in training, right? It was 11v11. This guy is coming at me. No, he got the ball. He pushed the ball. No. The ball, he hadn't even touched the ball yet, right? He hadn't even touched the ball yet. I think he was closer to the ball than me, but I'm faster. I wasn't, that last season I wasn't fast because I had a hip problem. And whenever I was still fast, but I had a hip problem. So I didn't really fully ever use my pace. And I never really needed to, because I'm someone that wants to read the game and step in and shoot and clear it, right? That's what I do. So the ball was right there. He was like really close to it. But I was like, dude, I have longer legs. I'm 6 foot tall. He's about 5'8", somewhere around that, 5'7", right? He's an attacker and I'm a defender. I know how to tackle. I know how to get at him, right? All I have to do is know that, okay, this is how I want to tackle. So there's a tackle that Van Dijk it's not like a Van Dijk tackle, but a tackle where it's only 1 foot and he just sends his foot in front, gets the ball, and if the ball were to even get past him, his leg behind him. So it's like you put your leg, it's like a slide tackle, but with only 1 foot, so you can get up easily. Okay, I went in and I pushed myself. I sprinted really fast. I was, how it's like 2 steps, but it's like you react quick. And then this guy somehow got to the ball first. He just pushed the ball way past me. He didn't even get to it after. But then I did take him out. He didn't like flip out or anything. It wasn't like that type of tackle. But I think I did step on his ankle. But he put the ball he put me in a weird position because the ball was exactly where I needed it to go. He then moved the ball like 5 inches. It was annoying. 5 inches away from me, and then his ankle got the worst part of it. But that's one of those. It wasn't like a high foot. It wasn't, my studs weren't showing or anything. It was just my body weight and my leg weight. My long legs just touched his ankle. He came back a day after, so he was fine. It wasn't like, I injured him forever, but he did get a knock, and that's fine. You can have tackles like that. But yeah, that's how football is, man. And then it's all about coming back, really. So for Lucas Hernandez, he has to just take his responsibility. I don't know if he needs to just take on some sort of special diet or anything, but it's not normal for a player who plays professional to get injured like this. For us humans, right, our legs, we're not supposed to be playing ball with our legs. We weren't created to play ball with our legs. We just decided to do all these things with our legs. We're designed to use our hands. You have a basketball for a reason. You use your hands, and it's easier. It's easier to get better at basketball than it is to get better at a sport where you play with your feet. If you haven't been playing that sport for your life, you're not ever actually going to get good on it. If you have, there's, like, for example, Messi, it's just different. So for Lucas Hernandez, man, he just needs to do some things to stay fit, but I really hope the best for him. For me, he's not a failed transfer. I know the title or what I've said might indicate, but it's completely alright for him to get an injury, but I just need him to take a bit of responsibility and just do it for himself, because if he can't do it for himself, who will he do it for? That's the real question. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed my little stories there. But yeah, thank you. Have a nice day, everyone. The league is coming back. We'll be doing the Dortmund versus Schalke watch along on the channel in 2 days, which is crazy because you always think about, like, it's so far, but it's so close at the same time. So the 16th, Dortmund versus Schalke. We have a day to go before that day actually comes, and then the next day, obviously, we'll do the normal Bayern, and then after the Dortmund Schalke game, we'll be doing the preview for the Bayern versus Union Berlin game. So tune in for that. But thank you all so much for watching. Mia San Mia, and peace.